Hey, it's Mr. Schneer. What's up, everybody? Today's lesson is going to be something I think you're going to enjoy. Who are you going to vote for president? And I know you can't vote because you guys are too young, but are you picking Trump or are you picking Biden? And the question then is, why? Why are you voting for Biden? Why are you voting for Trump? Now, everybody's got their reasons, but there are issues we have to discuss. Okay? There are things that are going on in the United States, and you need to know where Joe Biden stands. And you need to know where Donald Trump stands on the issues. So I found this website. It's up here. It's called isidewith.com. And it is awesome because what you're going to do is you're going to go to it and you're going to take the quiz, the 2020 presidential election quiz. How do your beliefs align with the potential candidates? You see, you could say, I don't want to vote for Trump because I don't like the tweets and I don't like this and I don't like that. But what the politicians do and what they believe in should also factor into your decision. Okay? You might think Joe Biden's a nice guy, but what if he wants to do something that you don't want him to do? What if he believes in something that you don't believe in? See what I'm saying? So, what this website does is it gives you a quiz. You take the quiz, you answer questions, and at the end, it'll tabulate the results and it will tell you who you should vote for, who you side with the most, okay? Based on where they stand on the issues and where you stand on the issues. So, check this out. You're going to go to isidewith.com, not yet, just watch this video. This video will explain everything. You click take the quiz, and you agree. Yes, I agree. Okay, boom, here we go. Now, when it opens up, it might start with healthcare issues. It might start with other kinds of questions. Doesn't matter, okay? This one's starting with healthcare. And it's going to ask you a question. Should the federal government require people to wear face masks in public during the COVID epidemic? Yes, no, or there are other stances you could take, okay? Check this out. Yes, but only indoor crowded areas. Yes, except for certain medical conditions. So on and so forth. Okay? Now, I'm going to start my quiz. Let's say I'm taking the quiz. This is Mr. Schneer taking the quiz. Should the federal government require people? Yes. I'm going to click yes. And then I'm going to move down. Okay? Do you support the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act? Obamacare. Do you support Obamacare? Now, I don't know that much about Obamacare, let's say. Maybe you don't. You click right here, learn more, and it'll give you a little paragraph that explains the question, explains what's going on in the question to give you a better idea. The Affordable Care Act is a federal statute signed into law 10 years ago that introduces a sweeping overhaul of the nation's healthcare system. The act grants the federal government significant regulatory powers and price controls over the U.S. medical service providers and insurance companies. Obamacare got 30 million, I believe 20 or 30 million more people health insurance that didn't have it before. Okay, that's what I know about it. So I'm going to say yes. That's what I believe. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go back. You click yes to this one. Should the federal government require people to wear masks? After each one is a question. How important is this to you? This is most important to me. I want people wearing masks. I want to end COVID. Okay. I don't want it to spread anymore. Do I support Obamacare? Yes. I want a lot of people to have health care. It's very important to me. Most important. Okay. Should the federal government increase funding of health care for low income individuals? Now, I'm not going to go through every one of these questions, right? But here's the deal. You get about 3 questions for every topic. Okay. Healthcare. This is 1, 2, 3. If you want to see more questions about healthcare, you click this, and then you scroll up, and there's more questions you can answer. Okay? And anytime you come up with one, I don't know what the World Health Organization is, you'll learn more. And it'll tell you more about the question. Now, the more questions you answer, the better results you're going to get. Okay? So then you get done with your healthcare questions, let's say. You don't have to answer the more. You could just do the 3. But if there's an issue that you really care about, click more and answer more questions. Should the government increase spending on public transportation, buses, subways? I'm going to say yes, because we live in New York and a lot of people use the subway. So we should have the government spend more on it, make it better. How important is this to me? Well, I have a car, but a lot of people in New York don't. So I'm going to say this is more important. Not the most, but more for me. Okay? Should the government continue? So on and so forth. You go all the way down. What is your stance on abortion? Pro-life means women should not be able to have abortions. Pro-choice means women should be able to choose what they do with their bodies. You can learn more by clicking it here. Okay? And if you still want to learn more, you can always Google the word. Okay? Google the term. So I'm going to keep going, right? I'm just going to scroll through. And there's about 20 some odd questions. Okay? You're going to do this nice and slow. And I'm going to cheat. I already did this. Okay? You go through all of these. Look at this one. Should convicted criminals have the right to vote? If you're convicted of a crime, should you still be able to vote? Yes or no? Do you support mandatory minimum prison sentences for people charged with drugs possession? If you get busted with having drugs, should you get at least 5 years in jail? Or should there be ways for the judge to decide how much you get punished? Okay. So if you support mandatory minimum prison sentences, that means no matter what happens, you're getting a certain amount of time in jail. Okay. More criminal questions, so on and so forth. Okay. So you read them. If you need more information, click learn more. If you don't, you answer them. Okay. Should a photo ID be required to vote? It's a good question. Okay. It's got climate change, immigration, criminal justice, all sorts of stuff. Look at this one. Should teachers be allowed to carry guns at school? I am going to say no. I do not want a gun, and I'm going to say that is most important. I don't want any teacher in my school carrying a gun, okay? Because we have teachers in school who can barely carry chalk and write on the chalkboard, okay? I don't want them carrying a gun. I might get shot. I'm a big target, okay? So, click the question, and then how important is it to you? Then you get to the bottom. I live in District 2, right? If it were held today, which candidate would I vote for? I'm going to go with Jackie Gordon. If the presidential election were held today, which potential candidate would you vote for? Well, I like Joe Biden. I'm not a big Donald Trump fan. Which qualities are most important to you in a candidate? Here are 15 qualities. By the way, you can get rid of this picture somehow. I just leave it. I'm going to say common sense and leadership. I'm going to say honesty and intelligence. We don't want some dummy being the president of the United States. Okay? Integrity. We want someone who's got integrity. I'm not in a question. So then I would click show my results. Right? Now I did the whole quiz. It's not going to give me an answer because I only answered like 6 or 7 questions, right? But I'm going to go up here. I did it already about an hour ago. If an ad pops up, just X out. And go to where it says my ballot. Okay? My ballot. House of Representatives. Jackie Gordon agrees with me 91% of the time. Right? She and I agree 91% of the time. Forget about her for a second. Let's go to president. Okay? Look at this. There's the guy running named Howie Hawkins. He's from the Green Party. He and I agree 93% of the time. But here's the thing, guys. I need you to listen really carefully. Howie Hawkins is not going to become the next president of the United States. It's going to be either Joe Biden or Donald Trump from the 2 major parties. Joe Biden is a Democrat. Down here, show more. Donald Trump is a Republican. Okay? So I would not, when I go to vote, I am not voting for Howie Hawkins. It's just a fact of life. I'm basically throwing my vote away. Okay? Because he's not going to be president. Since I agree with Joe Biden 79% of the time, we agree with each other, he's my man. Okay? You're never going to find someone who you agree with 100%. But for most issues, when I filled out the whole thing, Joe Biden was my man. Donald Trump and I agree 7% of the time. I'm not voting for him. Okay? I knew that already. But this is what you do. You do the whole quiz. You send in the answers at the end. Then you go to My Ballot and you see who is your person. Then you click on it. So I'm clicking Joe Biden. You click on Joe Biden and look at this. I didn't save my other one. Oh, I did actually. Let's see. I'm just going to scroll down. There was a part where it said if I agree with them or not. Okay. You go through it and you see which ones you agreed on and which ones you disagree on. Now, for some reason, it's not coming up because I skipped all the way to the end of my ballot, right? But you'll see. It'll say agree on the left or disagree on the left on the top or disagree on the bottom, okay? So it'll go through every question and where you and he agreed or disagreed. Now, what does this have to do with anything? You can't vote, right? You're 13 or 14 years old. But who could you share this with before the election? That's right. You could share it with your folks. You could share it with your older brothers and sisters or cousins or friends, okay? See where they stand and where the candidates stand on the issues. And you might be surprised at some of the answers. So you do isidewith.com. You go, I'll go back. Let's see if this works. It's working. Hopefully it's working. You go back. It's not going back. Anyway, you go to isidewith.com. Here it is. I'm scrolling to the top. isidewith.com. You click presidential quiz. For some reason, because I'm screencasting, it's taking forever. Okay. You take the presidential quiz, and then you start answering all the questions, or as many as you can. Okay. Learn more about each one if you need to learn each one. Okay. And then get your result. Look at My Ballot. See who you agree with. Then what do we have to do? Well, we go to the assignment. The assignment's going to look like this. It's going to look a little different on yours because I'm still assigning it. The title is isidewith.com, the website that will help me pick my candidate. Instructions: watch the video. What video? This video, the one you're watching right now. Then fill out the document and turn it in. Okay? So here's how to use isidewith.com. That's the title of the video that you're going to see there. And then you watch the video, and if there's anything you don't understand, you replay the video. Okay? You listen to it again, you watch it again, and then you get your ballot, My Ballot. You see who agrees with you more, and then you answer these questions. Check this out. This is your document that you're going to fill out. This is your assignment. After taking the www.isidewith.com presidential quiz and learning your results, fill out this document. Before doing the quiz, who would you vote for president of the U.S., Joe Biden or Donald Trump, and why? Before you did the quiz, right? After taking the quiz, with which major party presidential candidate did you most agree? Biden, Democrat, or Trump? I'm going to fix this. This is worded poorly. Which candidate did you most agree with? Okay, Biden or Trump? So after you took the quiz, what were your results? Did this result surprise you? Why or why not? I'm going to see. We might see some people might end up agreeing more with Trump than with Biden. I've had this happen before. Okay. 4 years ago, people were like, I'm voting for Hillary. Hillary's my woman. And then they did the thing, and it turns out they agreed more with Trump. And some people had this look on their face. They're like, oh, I didn't even realize, right? Which issues do you agree with? On which issues do you agree with your candidate? List them. So when you go through the results, see which ones you agreed with, Biden or Trump. And on which issues did you disagree with your candidate? And list them. Okay, it might be healthcare, it might be transportation, it might be criminal justice. So list the ones you agreed with your candidate, and there's some that you disagreed, right? What was mine? 79%? Right? So 21% of the time I disagreed with Biden. So which major topics did I disagree with Biden on? Which issue is most important to you out of all the ones we did? Which issue is most important to you and why? So put it here. And then who will you share this website with before November 3rd, 2020? That's election day. So if you have any questions, right, I'm going to show this at the beginning of class, and then I'm going to come back on and answer any questions. You could watch it again when you decide to do the classwork, either in class or home, and do a good job with it, okay? And if there's anything you need to look up, if you click on Learn More, and there's anything else you need to learn, you can always Google it, okay? If there's questions about abortion, and you read it and you're still like, I still don't get the difference between pro-life and pro-choice, Google it, okay? And there you go. So we're going to be talking about the election the next few times we meet, and I think you're going to like it, okay? Any questions, leave me questions in the chat or leave me questions on your assignment. I get them. I'll type them back to you if this happens after our class, okay? So, Mr. Schneer out. Good luck.